Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at CODEBLADE, a war game designed by Pete Ayres and Philippe Thomas. Here we go then, this is CODEBLADE, the Cyberpunk Brawler Wargame, and in the video I'm going to go all the way through the rulebook, giving you a good overview. This isn't a paid video, it's just something I like to do for independent games, and big thanks to Philippe and Peter for sending me out this copy to share with you. This is part of my Indy game Spotlight series where I shine some attention onto a new independent game, miniatures or gaming accessories. I think it's really cool. There's so many independent creators out there, but it's hard to get past all those big name games and get some attention on their work. So hopefully this video will help do that for CODEBLADE. Here's my invitation to you. If you've got a rulebook that's printed off or miniatures, get in touch with me with the email down below and I'll see about getting your product onto the channel too. Next up, I'll be having a look at Novus Malum, so expect that over the next couple of weeks. But let's get into the video then, and we'll focus on CODEBLADE now, this Cyberpunk Brawler wargame that's described as gritty, ruthless, fast to set up and fast to play. The book comes in hardback, so really good quality print, and the quality of the paper and the ink is pretty good too, so very nicely done. Right away we've got the opening page there letting us know who designed the game, and this is all part of Neurocraft Studios, and so Peter and Philippe are the designers, but it's augmented by AI, which is really interesting to see how that's been used in the game. We've got all the other information here, a little bit getting us into the mood and the spirit of the game, starting with Honour, which we'll talk about later on. And then we've got the contents page, nicely laid out, well spaced, some nice headers in there to break it up too. And over here you can see that there's been prompt engineering involved in this, so they've been using AI to develop the game, and I believe the artwork as well. So very interesting how that's played a big part in this. And it's also part of the narrative too of the game, the AI, so a real interesting combo. To start with, you're going to learn all about life in the megacities, and the introduction here to CODEBLADE is going to tell you what the game is, talk about Honour, and then immediately tell you how you win the game. It tells us in the book that CODEBLADE is a competitive brawler tabletop miniature wargame for 2 players, and this is set in a gritty cyberpunk universe. Each player will control a group of about 5 characters, represented by models on the table, and it's using 6-sided dice. And then this is all going to be played on quite a small board, a 2 foot by 2 foot. And it says to use a good amount of terrain as well. And one thing I find really interesting about this is games are quick to set up and finish, taking under 1 hour to play. And on the website it tells us that games are done really quickly, in sometimes about 3 turns. So expect this certainly to be a fast-paced skirmish game. In the game, you'll be playing against your opponent, with each of you controlling a group of lowlifes who are competing to perform tasks for an overseeing AI in exchange for precious honour tokens. And the honour is going to be both a goal and a resource within the game. You're going to win the game by reaching a certain value of your honour tokens, or by taking out the enemy. There's a lot of narrative to read through here, so if that's your thing, I think this could be a really fun book, and you're going to have plenty of background to get stuck into for the world that this is based in. You're going to learn about life in the mega cities, and then you're going to learn about the different factions within the game. The game's miniature agnostic as well, so any models you want to use for this, you can certainly do that. So if you've got a collection already, that's fantastic. But with so many models out there, and with 3D printing so popular, I think it could be really fun to put together some models, especially for the game. I like the layout of the book, very nicely spaced between paragraphs, and then you've got these really big, colourful images which all play into this cyberpunk theme. And it's kind of cool that this is AI augmented, and then that's part of the narrative as well. So I think that's a really neat approach. Now we're looking at some of the factions, and there's a really good selection. You've got the Iron Samurai who want to get stuck in and fight. Neon Underground, they're going to be more about hacking. And then you've got the Slummers, who are the sneaky thieves of the game. And then you've got others like the Compliance Officers, again, going to be very physical, getting stuck in and fighting. And then you've got the Manipulators and Hackers of the ONI Official News Inc. And then with the Syndicate and Freelancers, you've pretty much got something for everyone there. Alright, now we're on to the rules then. So we've got ourselves to page 81. That's a lot of narrative, a lot of background, and you're going to really find out about all the different factions there. But now let's flick through the rules and we'll pick out a few things that stand out. So here we've got, again, the miniatures, all going to be miniature agnostic. You've got the overview of the game there, and their website's great. If you want to go and check out their website, the link's down below. That'll give you a good idea and a good overview of the game as well. I like how they break down the character cards as well, very nicely labelled, numbered, so very easy to figure out exactly what does what on the card. And then your measurements, got a good diagram as well. So yeah, really cool. It's really nice to have books that are laid out nicely, not too much text. You've got diagrams that are there for a reason, serve a purpose, and break up the text as well, while helping to put across those ideas and concepts of the game so that we can learn them quicker. Here's a good section on honour, so you're going to find out all about the honour victory, honour pools, and attacking honour pools as well. So yeah, good. That's a big mechanic of the game. And then how to spend them. So yeah, honour is going to be something you're really going to be focusing on with this. On your turn, you're going to take 2 actions like moving through terrain, using stealth and gadgets, and striking with kinetic attacks, and then leveraging your strengths against the enemy's weaknesses as well. And the opponents are going to alternate taking turns and their 2 actions. There's all the combat details. Now let's have a look at line of sight. And I really like these sections now in rulebooks. I always go to line of sight and have a good look through this. So nice to see that you've got some very straightforward rules and you've got nice diagrams as well. So you can really see there exactly what line of sight is, how you're going to get cover. And there's some really good examples. Also, you've got some examples there of bubbles, which represent an area effect expanding outwards from one location. So some good clear examples so you know exactly what's in cover, what's not, and how those bubbles are going to affect the models. Then you've got modifiers to apply, so when you're making your attacks or looking for stealth and hacking actions, then you've got modifiers to apply there as well. So very straightforward, really listed out nicely. You can just go through it in a logical progression. So yeah, really like how they've done that. And then once you've got your modifiers, you've got your tokens as well, and they give you a PDF that you can download so you can get these printed off. There's also some in the back of the book too. And so you've got all your tokens with exactly what they do, how to set up the game, start playing, and then there's an example play as well. So it's generating a play sequence for 2 players there. So that's pretty cool. That's going to talk you through there, the game, so you get a good idea of how it flows. So that's really handy to have. And then as we flip over, page 107, you're going to get the round order and a detailed action anatomy there on the other page. So not a huge amount of rules here, not too much to go through. There's some nice clear examples, and already we're on to the character profiles. So this is going to give you just a little brief overview of the different factions now. You've read all the narrative. This is going to tell you a bit more about how they play, and then you've got all their stat cards and character cards, so you know exactly what the different fighters will do within each faction. Now, one thing that's really cool about this game is when you deploy these, you can deploy them anywhere on the battlefield to set up for the strategy you want to play out. And so that's pretty interesting. And so you're not going to have deployment zones. You can literally go anywhere. And because it's only 2 foot by 2 foot, you can imagine the action is going to start very quickly. So that makes sense for that 3-round kind of game. You could see how it could end quite quick. But now we're getting to near the end of the book. We've got the tokens here. Now, one of them has got a blank page on the back, so you could even cut that out and cut out those tokens. And it's a shame they didn't do it here as well. But you can get that PDF if you want to go and download that from their website. Got a little about page there telling you about the authors, Peter and Philippe. And then that's pretty much it. That's the book. So a lot of narrative. It's not rule heavy, miniature agnostic, and you're playing on a small area, 2 foot by 2 foot. I think this would be one of those games you could quickly give a go. Now, I haven't played it. I'm only just giving you an overview of the book, and so I've just read through some of the sections real quick. This is really just to introduce it to you, and then you can decide whether or not it's something you want to pursue. Go and have a look at their website. They've done a really good job on the website. Very clear, very crisp. And you know exactly what you're getting with the game, the world, and then there's all other information there. They've also got some new scenarios that recently come out, I think yesterday, so they're available too. So it looks like they're going to be continuing to back the game with more and more mods and expansions to play in the future. The book's going to be available from all the different bookstores. I think they've really put some effort into that to make sure it's available everywhere from different resources, and the link down below will be to Amazon. A massive thank you to my sponsors and supporters for helping me to keep going with these daily videos. A big thanks to you for clicking on those links. Element Games and Wayland Games are great if you want to save up to 20% on your hobby products. I'll put links to all of them down below, as well as Baron of Dice, and Warzone Studio, who provided the map for today's video. Look out for the next video in this indie game spotlight series where I'll look at Novus Malum First Encounter by Enviro Games Limited. And if you've got a game, don't forget, get in touch by email and we'll see if we can get that on the channel too. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. It'd be great if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.